All right, so today we're going to look at the Matryx platform, the decentralized research and development platform for the modern age. It's essentially a place where we can come to for scientific research and collaboration, create some tournaments, and come up with solutions for some of the world's most pressing problems. So, to get started, I can see on this homepage, I can get some information. The first thing I want to do is, well, today we're going to look at creating tournaments. Matryx is comprised of tournaments where people create submissions to, where a tournament has a problem it wants to solve. So in order to create a tournament, I can go to the tournaments page, and at the bottom, I can click the Create Tournament button. And then on the Create Tournament page, I am greeted with a form that says I need an allowance to create a tournament. So what is an allowance might be your first question. An allowance is exactly what it sounds like. It's me telling the Matryx platform, or Matryx platform is going to request an allowance from me, from my wallet, to be able to spend that amount. So in this case, the Matryx platform wants a certain amount of Matryx that it will use for the tournament reward. So I have to create an allowance first, which is telling MetaMask that if when the platform asks for this Matryx, give it to it, and then that Matryx is going to be used for the tournament reward. So in this case, I'm going to create a tournament that's going to be worth, I know it's going to be worth 10 Matryx, and then I have to approve that allowance. Approving that allowance is going to be a blockchain transaction, and we are using MetaMask as our blockchain client. So one of the cool features of MetaMask is it lets us connect with and interact with the blockchain. And so it's going to tell us that we have to pay a gas fee because it's a transaction. We're going to say that the total is for 10 Matryx plus the gas fee. So that comes out to about 2 cents for the gas fee, and then plus 10 Matryx for the allowance. Now it's not costing me 10 Matryx. This is just again the allowance that it will use at a later point in time. So let's confirm that. I'm going to get that a transaction is processing. Of course, this is a blockchain transaction, so it can take a few seconds to several minutes. And I can check the progress of that. For example, on Etherscan, there's a button here that will take me straight to Etherscan, or I can copy that and paste it somewhere else. So that's it for creating the allowance. This is going to be waiting for a while. If I'd like, I can go and check out other parts of the platform or different pages and then come back. But for the time being, I'm just going to pause this video and wait for that transaction to complete. All right, so we are back in the tournament creation process, and our transaction has gone through, successfully mined. Got our transaction receipt there, and it's completed, so we can get rid of that. And so now we have moved on to step 2 of the tournament creation process, which is to assign the tournament details. Now, the allowance I have for this tournament is, again, 10 Matryx. If I want, I can reset that. Doing so will create, essentially set it to 0, and I can change it at that point. So I don't want to do that today, but that is how I would reset my allowance. So we're going to say that the title for this tournament is going to be develop a new method, a new type of jet fuel, right? And that's going to be my title. And my tournament reward is asking how much of my allowance do I want to assign to this tournament. Now, most likely, if you have just started the tournament creation process, you're going to create an allowance that is appropriate to what the tournament reward will be. However, if you'd like to make that a smaller amount, you can. I want to use my whole allowance. And let's see, we've got some categories here. In this case, I'm going to say my category is space. For the time being, all submissions are open source. And then we have an entry fee here. The entry fee just represents a refundable fee that contributors have to pay in order to submit or create their submissions. So this is not a fee that they will pay me. This is not a fee that they will pay anyone. It's essentially just a fee that is held in sort of like escrow while the tournament is going on. That they have to pay in order to create a submission. And once the tournament completes, they will get it back. It's useful as a tournament creator. This might be something useful to deter spammers or low quality submissions. Maybe this tournament might be worth a lot, and I only want people that are very serious, so I might bump that entry fee up, or I might bring that entry fee down to 0 to promote more entrants. So just something to consider. And then the last field for my tournament description or my tournament details is the description. And this is, let's see, just a description of maybe the problem, why we're looking for a solution, maybe what format I want submissions to come in. But this is going to be the details, the bulk of the details for this tournament. So one of the issues with interstellar travel will be the cost of rocket fuel. Let's come up with something more efficient, right? So pretty simple. I know that there's not a lot of fuel used actually in between planets, but it might cost a lot of fuel to get off of the initial planet. So that's what my tournament is going to be. I might put in more details to give us contributors a better idea of what I'm looking for, but this is just a tutorial to show how to create a tournament after all. The last thing is we do have a button to upload more details. This is if I want to add files to this tournament. It might be useful for, let's say, if I had some schematics or a much more robust information on the tournament, then I can upload files for contributors to be able to access and get more information. I don't have that right now, so we're just going to skip that step. And we're going to move on. The next part is the round details. So tournaments are made up of rounds. A tournament can have just a single round, or it can last hundreds of rounds. And the idea is that scientific research and discovery doesn't happen all at once. It happens with iteration. So we want to have some rounds where we can define goals of specific rounds, or get people to start iterating and collaborating towards the best solution. So to define the details of a round, we need to know when that round is going to start. So I want my round to start today. It could start tomorrow, but I think we'll start today. And we're going to start at, let's see, 4:21. It's a pretty good time. Let's maybe say 4:21 is fine. Let's say 4:30. So my tournament is going to start at 4:30 today. And when is it going to close? So rounds are limited to a minimum of 1 hour. So I can't say a 1 hour difference. So I can't say that it can start at any time in the past. I could say, it's starting at 4:30. So I could say it could start at 5:30. End at 5:30. I think what I'm going to do is actually say that I want this round to end at the end of the month. So we're going to say November 30th at 11:59 p.m. Right. So once I select that, I get a little context or description of the rounds. My first round will begin on the 27th of November and end on the 30th of November with a round reward of 1 matrix. So the last part is the round reward, and this is essentially asking how much this first round is worth, and every following round, if I have more, will essentially take the format of this one. This one is set up to last about 3 days and be worth 1 matrix. So all the consecutive rounds will be last about 3 days and worth 1 matrix. Because there's 10 matrix on the tournament, it's anticipating that I will have 10 rounds. Now, all of this information can change at a later point, or I can set this to anything up to the total that I have available, or anything in between. So if I set it to 2 matrix, it's going to anticipate 5 rounds. If I set it to 3, it's going to anticipate 4, because 3 goes into 10 3 times with a remainder of 1. So that would be 4 rounds. So I'm going to keep it at 2. And again, if I'm wanting some iteration, so I want 5 rounds, that sounds great. I believe I'll find a winner within 5 rounds. But maybe one winner will just knock it out of the park on the second round. If that's the case, then they'll win the matrix allocated to that round, which might be 2 matrix, and whatever's left over on the tournament. Again, yeah, all this detail can be changed later on. So we're going to keep it at that. We're going to go to the end. We're going to say that it's going to give us a review of what we have selected. It's a space category. It's worth 10 matrix. And the entry fee is 2 matrix. The reward per round is 2 matrix. Maybe I just kind of want to go back and say, I don't know, change the title to something else. I can go back and change that, and then come back and see that my title has been changed. So the last step to creating the tournament is to just confirm the details, and it's going to upload some files to IPFS so that we can access those later and share them. And once it's done with that, it's going to try to make that transaction, which is going to store this information to the blockchain on the Matryx platform. So we have, once again, because we're working with the blockchain, we have some gas fee to pay. I can change this, make it worth a little bit more to go faster, worth a little bit less if I like, and I can save that. And then I can click confirm, and that's going to send the transaction through. I still have to wait on the miners. So here's my transaction receipt, which I can click to copy. I can view that in Etherscan. I can also leave this page and come back later on or interact with the platform or stuff like that. But as we can see there, that transaction went through pretty quick. So it's actually mined, and that means my tournament should be created. And if I view all tournaments, I can see that I have a pending tournament because, of course, this was going to begin at 4:30 today. But I can see that my pending tournament is up there, and I can review all the details. I can make some changes if I like. And that's pretty much it. Once the first round period starts, people can start creating submissions, and I will be able to review those during the round review period. And if I find a really awesome one, we can select that winner. Or if we need some more iterations, we can do that. And then at any point, if I find that I'm not quite getting the submissions that I was looking for, I can always add funds or request other organizations or third parties to add funds to this tournament to find a new type of jet fuel. So that's it for the tournament creation process. I hope that was helpful. We are trying to do big things here. So if you have some feedback, if you have some requests, we would love to hear them. Please feel free to reach out at any time to the Nanome or Matryx teams, and we look forward to bringing a new platform for collaborative research.